Okay, so in the second part of your reading, I want to talk about two different systems that utilize astrology but are a little bit different. These are ones that I personally use, and between knowing about EA and then these two other systems, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on not only what my path is as far as personal growth, but on my shadows and how I can grow through those, and also what I'm here to do, what my gifts are and what my purpose is as far as the function of the sun, sharing with others, and the light that I have to share with others. So I want to share a little bit about, and also the other system talks about, that I'm going to share with you, talks about how you can best make decisions that are right for your type. And as you're watching these videos, I know that my communication style can be a little bit choppy, and I go from one thought to the next, and that's because I have double fire Mercury. So it's very quick, it's very erratic, and I have all these things happening in my mind, all these things I want to say. So I thank you for your patience in listening to me. So the first system that I wanted to share with you is called the Gene Keys, and this is the book here. You can get it on Amazon. I'm going to send you your profile, and I'm going to send you one of the Gene Keys in your profile. I copied the chapter from this book on one of the Gene Keys that you carry. So what this book, it's a combination of astrology and the Chinese I Ching. Maybe you've heard of it. But basically it shows you what your personal shadows are, and then how those shadows will be transformed into your gifts, over time. And then also what the Siddhic state is for each of the energies that correlate with your gifts and shadows. And for me, this book and this system has been really huge. I call it my Bible, because I love evolutionary astrology, but the Gene Keys, I feel, it's just so powerful. And anybody that I read for, that I talk to, I tell about this. And then, so with the Gene Keys, there's 3 different sequences, and each sequence talks about a different aspect of your life. And one of the sequences, called the Venus sequence, talks about our wounding from the time that we were in our mother's womb up until adulthood. And there's a shadow for each stage in that sequence. And for anybody who wants to really heal themselves in their relationships, that sequence is it's indispensable. So there's that, and I will send you a sample of that so you can read it and see if it might be for you. And then the other system is Human Design, which came before the Gene Keys, and the Gene Keys took from Human Design and then added to it. So Human Design tells us about our auric type, how we can best use our energies so that we're not wasting energy, what our authority is, how we best make decisions. So your type is a manifester, so that means that you can manifest, basically, like the name says. You can create without needing to wait from signs like the other types have to. So you're a self-starter, you can create things. But manifestors, I don't believe they're an energy type. So that means that you have to, once you start, a project or something, that you need help from certain of the other types to materialize what you've manifested. So that's your type. And then, let me see here. Your authority is how you personally make decisions best. And yours is emotional authority. So that means that before you can make a decision, you have to, it's a long process and it's based on your emotions. So you can't just, say, should I buy this new car? And then right away, boom, whether or not you should. It's a long, slow, meticulous process that's based on your emotions. So if you're making decisions outside of your authority, if you're trying to pretend like you have a different authority or a different type in that regards, then you can make bad decisions. Now you have 3 open centers, and let me go grab the material on that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so if you have the sacral, spleen, and root centers open, and I know that none of this stuff is like really making sense to you right now unless you do have a foundation in human design, but I just want to share this in case, you're interested and maybe you might look into it. It's been super helpful for me. Let's see. Okay. So any center that's open in our human design is a place where we don't have any defined way of being. So there's no real sense of, this is who I am in this specific aspect of life. So we're really open to outside energies and influences in these areas of our life. And that, that can help us to grow in wisdom in those areas, but it can also get us into a lot of trouble because we're not really sure what's us, what's somebody else. So with an open spleen center, the spleen center is the center for intuition, survival, time consciousness, and the immune system. It says open spleen, you are intuitive, but receive that energy in inconsistent ways. You are likely to be time challenged and may be chronically late, letting time get away from you. You are sensitive to slight changes and symptoms from your immune system. You may be paralyzed by various fears and probably have issues knowing when to let go of things. And then it says advice, learn to trust your intuition. This is all about, your path of growth. And pay attention to signals from your immune system. Develop systems that keep you on time. And learn to let go of things that no longer serve you, including clutter, relationships, emotions, grudges, etc. Recognize you are sensitive to others and may even be medically empathic. Push through splenic fears that keep you stuck. Okay, so that was on the spleen center. And then you have sacral and root. Okay. So the root center, I'm just reading off of this little pamphlet that I have because I'm really new to human design and the gene keys. The root center is the center for adrenaline energy, and it's a pressure center. So I have a open root too, and what it basically means is that you feel others' pressures on you, for your time, for your attention, for whatever. And that can make you want to get things done really fast just to get rid of that pressure. I'll go ahead and read what it says. You feel pressure, often self-imposed, to get things done, and you have trouble relaxing if your to-do list is still long, which it always is. You amplify adrenaline energy from defined root centers, which is the opposite of you, the people that have closed root centers instead of open ones like you, which helps you be productive, but possibly at the expense of quality or thoroughness. It says, recognize that the pressure you're feeling is just energy and choose to relax and be free, even when everything on your list has not been done. Use others' adrenaline energy wisely to get things done and consciously release the pressure that you feel so you can operate without excessive pressure and stress. Even self-imposed pressure causes very real stress effects on your body and mind, including adrenal burnout and anxiety disorders. And then, so that was for the root. And then, sorry, I'm just checking my clipboard to see which centers you have open. So open sacral. You do not, Center for workforce and life force energy. And this goes back to what I was saying about your auric type, is that because you're a manifester, you can manifest things, but you don't have the energy. You don't have that, that life-giving energy that comes from the sacral center, like the other, like energy types have. So you need their help to get the work done. The energy types do the work, and then the other types, like the manifestors and the projectors and the reflectors, they are the ones that have the ideas and, that can be leaders instead of workers. Says you do not have sustainable energy, so don't try to keep up with defined sacrals who do. You take in and amplify their sacral energy so you can work harder than any of them, but only for short periods of time. Then you need time to rest and recover. So the advice is avoid jobs that demand sustained physical energy and long-term commitment. Take naps when you're tired and manage your energy. You're a sprinter, not a marathon runner, metaphorically speaking. It's correct for you to have few or no children, as they require a lot of sustainable energy. Recognize that sometimes you don't know when enough is enough, and learn when to stop. It is better to avoid burnout than have to recover from it. And that a lot of times when non-energy types are, living, they're trying to be like everybody else. They're trying to say, oh, I can keep pushing myself to work these long hours, even though they don't have the energy that the energy types have, and they can get burned out really fast, really quick. There's something I wanted to say about this. What was it? Something to do with the different types. I can't think of it. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so when if you do get interested in human design, there's a little bit more to it, but this is the basics. And if you can get really clear about your auric type and your authority, and then you always, stay true to those and you use those, if you create the projects, and then instead of thinking that you have the energy to finish them yourself, you look for partners that can help you do that, business partners, whatever. If you do that, and then you also utilize your emotional authority. So instead of rushing into decisions, maybe as an example, because you have the open root and you feel the pressure from other people to make these snap decisions, then you're going to be seeing a lot more success and using a lot less energy in the wrong ways than you have in the past. And that's what human design is really good at, is helping us to make the best choices for us and in the most efficient manner. And then, so that's the human design, and the Gene Keys is allowing us to really see all of our shadows, the things that are subconscious, and then being able to, through that awareness that we now have of the shadow, because we've seen it and it's become conscious, now we can grow past it and we can get to the gift level of all of our shadows. So I'm going to end your reading there, and I will be sending you a few more documents that you can look at, charts and things. Okay, it was a pleasure reading for you, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you have any, comments, if anything didn't resonate with you in your reading, I'd like to know that, because I've only been studying astrology for a few years, and any feedback that I can get is really helpful for me. Just to be a better astrologer overall. Yeah, so that's it. All right, take care. Bye.